What is wrong with a vegetarian lifestyle? A very interesting question. First of all, what's wrong with the meat-eating lifestyle? You know, in the flow of creation, that is, after the creation is formed out of the very mind of God, mind is born out of matter because consciousness is lying in a latent form within matter. The whole forward process of biological development is a movement back to God. In this process, the mind becomes more expanded, more developed, more conscious, until it finally merges in the original source of both matter and mind. That is, the original undifferentiated infinite consciousness, the original source. To kill animals for food is to kill developed minds. That is, killing individuals with expanded intellect and intuition. To use animals as a food source when a healthy body can be maintained eating a vegetarian diet is a tragedy, and it is immoral. So many vegetarians are puffed up with pride in that they are not involved in the crimes against the animals. But what about the crimes against plants? Plants also are living beings whose lives have existential value. Their lesser developed minds are not obvious to most humans. However, a developing mind is there, not just in animals, but in plants too. Just look at the plant life of the ancient planet when plants just began to evolve and to live on land and to cover the land. Now look at the modern day flora of the forest and the jungles. The plants are more developed, and the expression of their more developed mind can be seen and felt everywhere. So when it does become immoral to eat plants is when we become aware of it. In other words, how do we live in such a way as to cause the least amount of pain and suffering to other living beings, animals and plant beings, because they are both living beings? It is similar to the abandonment of the killing of animals because we realize that their capacity for feeling pain is very great, so we do not kill them for food. But it becomes immoral to kill plants for food when we can live in a healthy body without killing plants and engaging in agriculture on the land to produce these plants. In the future, humans will develop the technical knowledge and skills to produce food from non-plant and non-animal sources by the development and application of biological processes, that is, cytoplasmic biochemical processes, to produce food that is superior in quality to that food derived directly from eating animals or eating plants. The current approach to nutrition by vegetarians has many pitfalls. For example, food products contain trace amounts of pesticides. Also, plants are engaged in chemical warfare against other plants, animals, and microbes. Thus, plants contain these chemicals that they produce that are not healthy for us to eat. That is why we limit ourselves to the edible plants, as we call them. But even these so-called edible plants are not 100% edible. For example, some types of lettuce and turnip greens may be edible when young, but become bitter when they are too mature or grow in hot temperatures. Other plants we eat routinely, like radishes, mushrooms, garlic, and onions, have negative effects on us that we are not aware of. Yogis have known for thousands of years that these foods inhibit meditation. The U.S. Air Force advises pilots not to eat excessive garlic before a combat mission because it reduces concentration. So there are many reasons to avoid plants as a food source, both moral and physical. However, we must adapt to the vegetarian lifestyle as opposed to the more hurtful and more immoral meat-eating lifestyle. How do we proceed on this vegetable-based lifestyle and at the same time do the least harm to the plants and ourselves? Well, we can try to eat less and also kill fewer plants. We can try to see that plants are grown as humanely as possible. For example, we may grow milk cows for dairy products, but we must remember to retire the cows to pasture in their old age out of respect, and not to kill them. Plant life must also be respected. For example, we can substitute a leaf of lettuce for a handful of alfalfa sprouts for our sandwich, thus avoid the killing of hundreds of young alfalfa plants. I know this sounds strange, but in a few thousand years humanity will look back on our time and they will say, "I can't believe they used to kill plants and animals for food. They even tortured individual plants by putting them in small pots in their houses and forgetting to water them, or understand that the roots needed to be grown in the earth's soil directly." So, in summary, we vegetarians thought we were so cool and so progressive with our eating habits. However, our conduct is relative, and only one small step above the disgusting action of killing animals for food. We worship at the shrine of the organic vegetarian restaurant and find our scriptures on the bookshelves of health food stores. In fact, we are spiritually blind pagans who are only a little bit less brutal than our carnivorous cousins.